Next gentleman from Florida, Mr. DeSantis, for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Attorney General. You didn't do anything wrong in that testimony. This question was jarbled. That's just not giving you any benefit of the doubt at all to do what these guys are doing to you. So I hear what you're saying, and you didn't do anything wrong there. I do want to talk to you about your recusal from the Russian case. You cited 28 CFR 445.2, saying you were involved with the campaign. That triggered recusal. However, that regulation only applies to criminal prosecutions or investigations. When you recused yourself under James Comey's admission, that was a counterintelligence investigation, not a criminal investigation. So why did you cite that regulation to recuse from a counterintelligence investigation when its only applicability is for a criminal investigation?
I'm not sure that was expressed to me when I was given advice about it in those terms, number one. Number two, it could likely be interpreted as both. And so I felt...
Comey, after you recused, he testified March 20th. He said, I'm authorized to say there's a counterintelligence investigation. He was telling the president, you're not under investigation. So that's what he said. So I think that may have been misapplied, but I understand what you're saying.
I did follow the advice I was given.
I know you did. You've talked about you can't confirm or deny investigations. I think that's a good policy. Why was Comey allowed to confirm that investigation in March 20th, which invited all kinds of irresponsible speculation? You were recused. Somebody in the department authorized him to do that. Why did they break with the policy?
This was this March 20th you're talking about? Yes. I'm not, I don't recall how that exactly occurred, but I do agree with you, Congressman, that Mr. Comey talked more than he should. And he had no power, right, or justification in announcing the conclusion of a criminal investigation. He was the investigator, not the
I agree. I don't want to sorry to interrupt. I got limited time. I agree with you. Let me move on. Uranium One case. I know you've been asked about it. Can you say, forget about whether it's under investigation, in the past, did the FBI or DOJ inform either President Obama, Secretary Clinton, or any cabinet secretary that it had uncovered evidence that Rosatom's main U.S. executive, Vadim Mikirin, was engaged in bribery, kickbacks, and money laundering before the Obama administration approved the Uranium One sale in 2010?
Is that the Mikirin matter, the matter that was prosecuted in Maryland?
2014, but there was an informant in 2009, 2010. The FBI had evidence of bribery, kickbacks, and money laundering. Was that information conveyed to any of the relative people on the CFIUS board? Clinton, other cabinet secretaries, or was it given to the president?
The way I understand that matter is that the case in which Mr. Mikirin was convicted was not connected to the CFIUS problem that occurred 2 to 3 years before. When the case came to the United States Attorney's Office, Mr. Rosenstein's office in Maryland, CFIUS had already been approved by 2 years or more.
There was an FBI informant starting in 2009.
I have not talked with him, but the Department of Justice, I understand, has approved him providing information to the Congress, and I understand it'll be set up in a few days, and you'll be able to hear from him direct.
I think you should too, because from everything I've been proffered, he has evidence of illegal conduct 2009 and 2010 before this deal was agreed to involving Uranium One. It was all connected, and so I think that's something that we need to do. Let me move on. The leaking you mentioned, you can't confirm or deny the existence of the leaks. Michael Flynn, some of these other leaks used politically against the administration. So let me ask you this: since the president was elected, has anybody been held accountable criminally or administratively for leaking information against the administration with a political motive?
Well, I think the individual in Georgia had a motive that's been charged, but We have 27 ongoing investigations. Some of those involve leaks before President Trump took office and some after.
Final question, just yes
But
or no.
before that, there was only 3 per year, only 9. There's 3 times as many this year as in the entire 3 years before being investigated.
Final question, why can't you just tell us whether or not the FBI expended resources to give money to Christopher Steele? It's not about going into the investigation. We have oversight over your department. Were taxpayer dollars used to give to Christopher Steele, yes or no?
I'm not able to do that. I think several reasons. It's an ongoing matter, and also it may well involve classified information.